and welcome to class. Today we're going to be doing a 20-minute gentle, beginner-friendly morning yoga flow. So for today's flow, I encourage you to sit on something or have a cushion under your bum and maybe have 2 blocks handy. As always, props are optional. Okay, find a comfortable seat. That might mean cross-legged or legs extended. You do you, okay? Once you find your seat, take a deep inhale and an exhale. Deep inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands to the bottom of your rib cage on the sides. Inhale. Feel the ribs expand to the side. Exhale. Again, deep inhale. Let those ribs expand. Exhale. Optional, maybe bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Feel the chest and belly expand. Exhale. Again. Maybe let your hands rest back into your lap, or you can bring them again to your ribs or your belly or your chest. Just noticing how the breath might change once you bring a little intention to it. Begin to seal the lips and breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, finding that ujjayi. This is that life force, that pranayama. It just means you're pacing your breath. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. You'll carry this breath throughout the practice with you, and if you want to do a 5 count or a 3 count, then you choose. And if you lose your breath, it's okay. It's just yoga. On that next exhale, imagine your spine getting really tall. So like a string is tied to the top of your head and it's kind of like lengthening out that spine and creating little tiny spaces in between all your vertebrae. On that next exhale, bring your right ear down to the right shoulder and let the left side of that neck get a stretch. If you want to add a little bit of extra something, you can take your left hand and press it into the ground or into the hip to kind of bring more intention or more sensation to that neck stretch. But you can also just reach for the ground too. That next exhale, release your left hand and then draw a rainbow with your chin all the way up towards the sky and then over to the left. Now turn so that your ear is facing your shoulder and then reach your right hand off to the side or press it into the hip to find more sensation in that neck stretch. Next exhale, go ahead and release your hand and then let that chin kind of come back over to the shoulder and then draw that circle all the way back down, or just finish out your circle and then over to the right. And now go all the way back around, drawing a circle with that chin, going down the chest, over to the left shoulder, and then finding that rainbow shape as you reach your chin towards the sky, over to the right shoulder. The next exhale, come back to center so your head is facing me. Maybe you close your eyes for a moment and just tap back into the breath in case you lost it. On that next inhale, circle the arms so your arms are reaching up towards the sky. And then elbows bend and kind of pull down that energy and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Inhale, we're reaching. Exhale, pull it down. 2 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull that energy down. One more time. And then exhale, pull it down, and then try to lift up that chest, maybe lift up the chin. And then exhale, let your hands come down to the sides. And turn over towards the right, finding a gentle twist to the right. Then exhale, turn towards the left, find a gentle twist towards the left. One more time, inhale towards center, exhale to the right. Deep inhale. Exhale towards center, inhale. Exhale towards left. Inhale back towards center. Take a moment here. And then let's find some cat-cow. So round the back, tuck the chin, tuck the pelvis. Inhale, lift up the chest. Push the booty back. Maybe the head drops back. Exhale, round the back. So finding like a dome-like shape in your back and then an arch shape in your back. It doesn't have to be super intense. It's just gently warming up your spine for your day. And maybe you're thinking about your day, like what's going on and what's going to come. Just remember, you can always tap into this breath that we've created already and kind of like get yourself in the present moment if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed at any time during your day. Right hand comes down, left hand is reaching up, finding a side stretch. And then bring that shoulder towards the front of the body, almost like we're trying to elbow to knee, but not quite there, right? It's like a gentle little twist, and then open up. So now we're opening, closing that elbow. And then maybe even thinking about like, what do I want to set my intention for today? Do I want to just come into the present and just tap into that inhale, exhale? Do I want to notice when I'm mindlessly scrolling? Go ahead and sit tall, reach both hands back, lift up that chest. Exhale, round the back, maybe arms come forward. Inhale, come back to center, left hand down, right arm reaches up and over, and then find those open closes again. Maybe you need something a little more simple, like peace, joy. Maybe you need to remind yourself to be laughing or not take everything so seriously. I have a hard time with that sometimes too. Go ahead and come back to center. Inhale, reach your arms back. Exhale, round the back, reach your arms forward. And then come back to center. Take a deep inhale. Let's tap into the breath before we move into tabletop. So as we move into tabletop, I want to encourage you to bring something under your knees for some cushion, or maybe even a few blocks under your hands for some leverage. Especially if you have sensitive wrists or knees, this is going to help bring a little more comfort and accessibility into your practice. And as always, they're optional, so you don't have to. Bring your hands down to the blocks. And let's just find our little cat-cow. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, and slowly get there, almost like a count of 4. And on the 4th count, you're feeling that final stretch. Inhale, slowly come into your cow. On that 4th count, you feel the stretch. Maybe you're tucking your toes, and you could even kind of gently rock back and forth and feel maybe a little stretch along your foot a little bit. Maybe you feel like, I need some organic movement. So you swish your hips a little to the right, to the left. My right hip especially has been feeling extra sensitive, and so just notice if you're finding any imbalances in your body. No judgment. You're just, okay, it's there. Let's lean into that right hip since that's what's bugging me. This is your time to check in with yourself and just figure out, like, what do I need? And maybe that's your intention for the day. Sometimes I come to practice and I know exactly what my intention is. Reach your hands out in front of you like a little child's pose, and then like tense your fingers so like cupcakes are under them. And then straighten out the arms and press into the fingers so you get a little under the armpit stretch, a little side body stretch. Maybe your head comes down a little bit more. Like a supported child's pose, or maybe like kind of like a lazy puppy pose. My hips aren't quite reaching up. On that next exhale, push your hands in, lift up that chest. Maybe you bring your blocks back a little bit, and then bring your left knee towards the center of whatever you're on, the mat, and then extend your right leg behind, and then just gentle rocks into your calf. Maybe hold it for a moment. Get a little calf stretch. And like I said, just notice. And then, bring that that right foot over towards the left. So it's kind of like crossing, and then look over that left shoulder. It's a nice long side body stretch. That's all we're doing is stretching today. Just kind of warming up, stretching, getting your body ready for the day. Oof. And then the right knee comes back down. Rinse it out with a little cat-cow. Maybe the blocks need to come back, I'm constantly adjusting things, and I'm like, do I do too much? Am I the problem? No. I think the fact that I'm constantly adjusting and just kind of checking in on myself and then hold it back into a stretch if that feels good. It just means that I'm paying attention. And that's really what yoga is about. It's just paying attention. Noticing things that are happening in your body as you do them. And then as you kind of dive deeper into yoga, lift up that leg, cross it over, and then look over that right shoulder. As you dive deeper into yoga, then you'll notice that practice of paying attention in other areas of your life. Relationships, social situations. You're like, I'm noticing lots of things and I'm not reacting. Because I have my breath and my presence. Bring your foot back to center, and then your knee back down, and find a cat-cow. That would be, perfect world, but we do the best we can with what we have. Go ahead and swish your hips again. Okay, let's move our blocks off to the side. And if you'd like to do a downward facing dog with blocks, totally fine as well. I'm also going to move I'm going to leave my bolster here, and hands are going to plant. If you need a little wrist stretch, let's just take that now. So we're going to put some weight on the wrists, and this is optional. You could do this at a wall. So just to kind of give you an idea, this is going to be the whole back side of the body is going to get your posterior chain, get a little stretch. Place your hands on the wall, take your feet a little bit wide, and then push your booty back, relax your head, look towards your feet, and try to stretch out your chest, and then your hamstrings, your calves. You should feel sensation kind of the whole back side of your body. So that's one option against the wall. You can also grab a chair, or hands come down to the mat and planting them, or you could even use blocks. Take your feet a little bit wider, bend your knees, and then adjust that beautiful belly so it sits between your thighs. Spread your fingertips, and then think about your shoulders kind of rolling in so they're protecting that rib cage, and we're not having them up by your ears. And if they're up by your ears, it's okay. Relax. Think about that rib cage coming down So the arch is eliminated out of your back body. Bend your knees a lot. Sometimes when our hamstrings are super tight, we find that arch in our spine because our hips want to find that anterior pelvic tilt. So just notice. And that's okay. It's not a bad thing. And then walk your dog, maybe right foot down, left foot down. And you're just kind of playing with it. Maybe we find some hip swishes. On that next exhale, bring both the knees down to your bolster. Whoo, that felt good. Just to kind of get up. And now let's find a little lunge action. So we did the back of the legs. Let's try to do a little bit of the front of the legs. So since I'm kind of swinging my leg around, I have my blocks off to the side for some leverage, and then I'll place them so they're framing my front foot. And we're just going to kind of rock back and forth and just kind of floss this front thigh muscle, your quadricep, your hip flexors, your front of the thigh, right? So we're just kind of rocking and rolling right here, getting all the little bits and bobs that might be causing us some discomfort. And we're also not trying to like go into some deep, crazy arching stretch. We're just checking in. That's what this whole flow is about, is just checking in with ourselves, noticing what's coming up, and then setting an intention for our day. So we show up for ourselves through some movement. We're kind to ourselves, we're understanding, and we start our day off in a really pleasant, gentle way. And then that can kind of take us into the rest of the day. And then setting that intention, like kind, gentle, go ahead and switch sides however you'd like. So maybe blocks come off to the side, swing around, move to the other side, swing around, and then blocks frame the front foot, and we just rock back and forth. So as you go into your day, you could say, I can be kind, I can be gentle, I'm allowed to take my time, I can go slow, and of course this is all within reason, so make it work for you and your life in whatever capacity that looks like. But beginning your day in a slow and gentle, kind way is a little bit refreshing, and it's also saying like, I don't have to start at 100 miles per hour. We put all these pressures on ourselves to like check all of the lists, and sometimes we just need to like be present, just be with ourselves. It's all good. That's the TIFF talk of the day. Go ahead and bring both the blocks off to the side, and then let's come to our backs. I'm going to move my bolster towards this side of the mat, like the top of the mat, and then find my back. Oh, okay. Once I find my back, bend my knees. Let's just find a gentle little windshield wiper to the right, windshield wiper to the left. So let's kind of go over it. We did some shoulder work. We did some spinal work. We worked on the posterior chain. We also are now working on psoas and quadricep after flossing. So this should feel a little bit more open on the front side of the body. Maybe. You know, everybody's body's different, so just listen. We stretched out our wrists. We also worked on our downward facing dogs. Like we got into a little yoga flow, a little yoga position. Go ahead and come to center. If those windshield wipers are just feeling so wonderful and like perfect for today, maybe we just hold the side, okay? So like rock it so the knees are just holding. If you're like, this isn't enough, cross at the ankle to the knee and find a figure 4, okay? And then as you do this, notice how my hip kind of lifts to kind of keep this leg up. Think about the hips pressing down if you are in this figure 4. This might make the knee come up. And so once the hips are down, work this knee open. So just notice how your body reacts as you move. Sometimes you're just like boom, boom, and like maybe you're hypermobile and you're just like, I can get into anything and don't feel a thing. And this just makes it so that it's a little bit easier in my day. Fair enough. But if you're just super tight and noticing all these little things, go slow and gentle with yourself. You don't have to make your body look like mine or anybody else's. It's up to you to decide what's best for you. You can find some gentle rocks to the right and left, kind of like giving a low back massage and just kind of working that outer hip a little bit. On that next exhale, release your left leg, right leg then crosses, or you just turn the knees to the other side and we'll hold this psoas stretch on that side, or we're opening up the hip. And again, your hip, or this hip might be up. So push, so up like this, push them down, and then open up this knee. So, and if this knee is like, that's a lot, just gentle, like little pulses. So we're kind of flossing it to like get it open. And if you just want to kind of hold it still and you're feeling a lot of things here, that's fine too. Again, no judgment for yourself. You are working within your range of motion, and that is what matters. It's not like you're trying to make it look like my body. You're tapping into how it feels for you. So go ahead and rock back and forth. I know oftentimes we're like following along and then we forget to check in with ourselves. Like we're trying so hard to like make it look like something. And I think as me as a plus size person, I was always trying to make sure that everybody knew that I was valid enough, I was worthy enough to like be in a class. Go ahead and release, and then just bring your legs out in front of you, and then wiggle your femur in your femur bone. So like rock your legs from side to side, but it's not just the ankles. It's like from all the way up here. So move your femur in your hip bones. And taking the time to kind of like notice that I was trying to overdo it so that I could prove my worth. Oh, that mindset sometimes creeps back in, but I want to remind you, like, I have felt that, and if you're feeling it, just notice. It's okay. I feel like it's societal pressures, and it just happens, and we do the best we can with what we have. All right, go ahead and come into some stillness. Now I want you to think about the right side leg reaching, like trying to reach, like we're like trying to push that right leg down, and then we kind of switch. That left leg kind of comes down, and then the right leg kind of comes down, left leg kind of comes down. Yeah, just gently kind of working the bones and the hips and the muscles and the things. On that next exhale, let yourself just everything go. Notice where you're feeling any of the things and just come to some stillness. This is your Savasana. This is the time of the practice where we're still and quiet. We let everything that's happened just kind of be a feeling and sensation, and we're not trying to do anything. We're trying to like seal it in so that we can go about our day after. As thoughts come into your brain, I encourage you to just let them come and then turn them into marbles as they flow right out of your brain, because it's going to happen. And we'll be here for about 30 seconds in silence. That next exhale, go ahead and circle out your wrists, ankles, wiggle fingers and toes, maybe even reach hands above your head, full body stretch, and then roll over onto one side. Find a little fetal position, deep inhale, exhale. Whenever you're ready, push your torso up and find a comfortable seat. Maybe that includes a bolster or something under your hips. And as always, we finish our practice just kind of saying thank you, gratitude for these bodies that we have. They are amazing. They can do so many amazing things. Let's treasure those things. Thank you so much. Divine light within me honors the divine light within each and every one of you. Mwah. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you like my vibe, you like my stuff, be sure to sign up for my $10 membership. I have hundreds more yoga videos, and make sure you're subscribed. Like this video, it helps the channel so much, especially if you want more content on a free platform. And thanks for watching, babes. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.